Am I the butt for insisting my ex-wife and I stick to our court-ordered custody order? My ex-wife and I, both 30s, have been divorced for almost 5 years, and she's remarried. Ever since her marriage to her current husband, 40s, she has been trying to deviate from our court-ordered custody order for our kids. We split custody 50-50 with 7 days. 7 days being the way this works. She gets Mother's Day and her birthday. I get Father's Day and my birthday. Her husband's birthday and mine are on the same day, and she wanted it to be shared, but the judge said my birthday took priority for our kids. Same with Father's Day. My ex will ask for our kids for 2 or 3 extra days here and there, because they go out of town to visit her husband's family. Or she'll want the kids an extra day to celebrate his birthday or Father's Day. When I tell her to do it on her own time, she gets pissed at me. But the one time I was somewhat willing to work something out, she didn't want to talk about making up the time. So I don't trust that she would let me have the time back that I give up. And so I 100% say we still to the custody order. My ex has called me all kinds of names for this, and she told me trying to come between the kids, and their family is wrong. She's extra grumpy about it because she has a child with her new husband now, and they were visiting her in-laws with the baby for the baby's baptism, and the kids couldn't be there since it fell on my custody time. She wants to go visit her in-laws more and wants our kids there. I told her to do it when she has them, and I was told it was unfair to make her do that. I told her I plan around our schedule, and she is not incapable of doing the same. Her husband also called me a PUSSY for holding firm on this. He and I do not communicate, but we saw each other at an end-of-school year meeting, and he said it to my face. Got himself removed by school staff for that. Am I the butt for saying that my brother-in-law and his future wife can't sleep in our bedroom while we host them on their honeymoon? Advice needed. I, 35F, and my husband, 36M, are fortunate enough to live in an area of the world that is very beautiful and, as a result, frequently visited for honeymoons. My brother-in-law, 30M, and his soon-to-be wife, 28F, are getting married in August and want a honeymoon in the area where my husband and I live, and they asked around a month ago if they could stay with us on their honeymoon. We agreed. They are family and are also tight on funds. We are happy to help and host them. However, they asked my husband last week if they could stay in our bedroom on their honeymoon. We have a 2-bedroom home, and our guest room has an air mattress that is used for when friends/family stay. Otherwise, it is my work-from-home office, hence why we don't have a typical mattress in there. My brother-in-law didn't really get into the specifics of why they didn't want a guest bedroom/air mattress, but the gist seemed to be, we don't think an air mattress is honeymoon appropriate. When my husband asked me about it, I was honest with him and said I wasn't comfortable with his brother and his new wife sleeping in our bed on their honeymoon. My husband agreed with me. Apparently, us saying no to this request has caused some issue in my husband's family, particularly with his sister, who's saying we should just let Bial and his future wife stay in our room, as it is their honeymoon and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. We love everyone in this scenario, especially brother-in-law and his future wife, and don't want to cause a rift, so my husband is sort of leaning towards acquiescing to their request. However, I am not down to change my mind on this. It honestly really grosses me out, because I believe that the reason they want our bedroom is so they can comfortably bang during their honeymoon on a regular and not on the air mattress. Am I the butt for not checking on my dad's pregnant girlfriend when she was in the hospital while he was out of town? My dad and I, 17M, don't have the greatest relationship and never really had. It was one of the reasons my parents divorced, and he was always very emotionally distant with me. That hasn't really changed. He started dating Mona 2 years ago, and they're expecting a baby together. Her pregnancy has been really complicated, so she was hospitalized several weeks ago, and she hasn't come out of the hospital since. I don't know any details other than that. My dad had to work out of town for 2 weeks last month, which isn't unusual for him. He's done it almost my whole life. He wanted to check on Mona and visit her while he was gone. I told him up front I wasn't doing that, but he told me it was important and I should want to check on the baby at least. But I didn't want to check on Mona or the baby, so I didn't check on her. After 2 days, Dad called to yell at me, and I hung up on him. He ended up cutting his work trip short because Mona went into premature labor. Dad expected me to go be with her until he got there, and I refused. He got there, and they stopped it, but then my dad turned his attention to me. The last 3 or 4 weeks are the most he's ever contacted me. Like, ever. And it's all to berate me for not checking in on her and going to her when he asked me to. He asked me what kind of son I was, and I told him I'm a good son to Mom, who was a real parent to me, and a disinterested son to the disinterested dad in my life. I think Mona had the baby since because she went into labor again. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think so, and he's still trying to scream at me for not visiting. Am I the butt for telling my girlfriend she can't force me to cancel my vacation and lose $2,500 because she hates Harry Potter? I, 27M, and my girlfriend, 27F, have been together for 4 years now. I've always wanted to visit Universal Orlando to see the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but I'd never been able to justify it financially. My dad died recently, and I got an inheritance in his will. Not life-changing money, but enough to pay off my debts and have something left over. So I decided to book a trip for Universal, and I was lucky enough to get tickets for their new park as well. My best friend loves Star Wars, and so we decided we'd go together and split time between Universal and Disney World, because we probably wouldn't have the chance to go again anytime soon. I told my girlfriend this up front, and she said she was excited for us, but didn't want to go because she doesn't support Harry Potter because of Rowling and her views on LGBT people. She was fine with it until she found out Rowling is apparently using her fortune to fund anti-trans campaigns, and she started screaming at me about supporting transphobia. Her younger brother is trans, so trans rights are extremely important to her, which makes sense. Early in our relationship, we basically agreed that I could do whatever I wanted regarding Harry Potter, but she wouldn't join in. It's never been a problem until now. During the discussion, am I the butt for telling my girlfriend she can't force me to cancel my vacation and lose $2,500 because she hates Harry Potter? I, 27M, and my girlfriend, 27F, have been together for 4 years now. I've always wanted to visit Universal Orlando to see the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but I'd never been able to justify it financially. My dad died recently, and I got an inheritance in his will. Not life-changing money, but enough to pay off my debts and have something left over. So I decided to book a trip for Universal, and I was lucky enough to get tickets for their new park as well. My best friend loves Star Wars, and so we decided we'd go together and split time between Universal and Disney World, because we probably wouldn't have the chance to go again anytime soon. I told my girlfriend this up front, and she said she was excited for us, but didn't want to go because she doesn't support Harry Potter because of Rowling and her views on LGBT people. She was fine with it until she found out Rowling is apparently using her fortune to fund anti-trans campaigns, and she started screaming at me about supporting transphobia. Her younger brother is trans, so trans rights are extremely important to her, which makes sense. Early in our relationship, we basically agreed that I could do whatever I wanted regarding Harry Potter, but she wouldn't join in. It's never been a problem until now. During the discussion, she tells me I'm not allowed to go because it'd be supporting Rowling, which is supporting anti-trans people and not supporting her brother. I said, honey, I understand what you're saying, but if I cancel, I can't get my money back. When I booked the trip, I booked with Trip Planner, and they said explicitly my tickets are non-refundable. I can change the dates if I need to cancel my initial trip, but I won't be refunded if I cancel and don't show up. My plane tickets, hotel, and park tickets are all non-refundable. I've spent about $2,500 on this trip. I can't justify wasting that kind of money, and she knows that, but she says it doesn't matter. It's not about the money. It's about the principle, and I'm not allowed to go. I respect what she's saying and where she's coming from, but I'm not throwing away that kind of money. And she can't just ban me from going somewhere. I'm an adult just like she is, and I can make my own decisions. I feel bad because I see both sides. On my end, I'm not willing to just lose almost $3,000. On her end, she wants to support her brother. I want to be considerate and respect her wishes, but that'd make me lose thousands of dollars. And I'm not sure if I'm just hung up on the money part instead of how she feels. Am I the butt? Thank you for being here. Check the next video for we upload every day. Like and subscribe.